My name is Adam Hoge from CHGO, and on behalf of the Chicago chapter of the Pro Football Writers of America, it is my pleasure to be here today to recognize a deserving Bears player while also honoring the memory of our good friend that we miss every day. Exactly 1 year ago today, ESPN Bears reporter Jeff Dickerson passed away. Almost immediately, Hub Arkish suggested we rename the Media Good Guy Award after JD. On the list of ways we could have recognized JD forever at House Hall, this really was the perfect idea. JD, of course, was by definition a good guy, the best guy. But he also had a knack for navigating the day-to-day work life here at House Hall with a grace and patience that I think we would all agree is still unmatched. The relationships JD built in this building with coaches, players, and colleagues were strong, relationships full of respect, perspective, and a friendliness that we all miss deeply today. Of course, JD's long-lasting character is a testament to his wonderful parents, George and Sandy Dickerson, who were gracious enough to join us here today for this presentation. George and Sandy, you have so much to be proud of, and we love you dearly. As we recognize this year's winner of the Jeff Dickerson Good Guy Award, it's worth noting that this was the first time since 2019 that locker rooms were open to the media. The majority of the Bears' young roster had never experienced these open locker rooms, and I'm not sure any of us, players and reporters, knew exactly what to expect. To the Bears' credit, there were many players and members of the organization worthy of being considered for this award this year. In most cases, the players this year were inviting and engaging with the media, and we certainly recognize that that isn't always easy during a tough season. This year's winner, however, consistently went above and beyond in his media responsibilities. There were some weeks when he spoke every day. The locker room was open, in addition to the Monday press conferences, as well as post-game. Even when not doing formal interviews, this player was always professional and friendly with his daily conversations with reporters, truly representing the character for which this award is named after. We certainly had many conversations about high school and youth football at your locker this year, but I promise you those conversations would have at least tripled had JD still been around. So on behalf of the Chicago chapter of the Pro Football Writers of America, it is an honor to present the 2022 Jeff Dickerson Good Guy Award to Chicago Bears tight end Cole Kmet.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it. Yeah, good stuff. Well, before we get started, just obviously thanks to all you guys. You guys have been fantastic this year, in the locker room and being super respectful, to all the players, and and we feel that. You guys got a big responsibility for this game, and obviously all you guys got your takes, whether guys in the locker room agree with it or not. But it's good for our game. You guys are promoters of this game for us, and it's the reason why the NFL is what it is today. So appreciate all your good work, and I appreciate all the respect that you guys have given me this year. So with that, we'll open up with questions. Yeah, no, definitely knew Jeff growing up, and my dad was obviously reading up on him all the time with ESPN and all that, and then got to know Jeff briefly here before he passed. So obviously, really special guy. Big avid fan of the Bears, all that stuff, and a great reporter. So to get an award in his name is really special.
What's it been like for you, kind of having followed Chicago media as a Bears fan, and now the last 3 years being?
Yeah, it's weird because you go from kind of naturally consuming it all the time to having really to shut it out for the most part. Not that I don't want to hear what you guys say, but it's I don't think that's a healthy thing for me. So. No, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. You go from growing up, things on the radio, all those type of things, reading articles, all that type of stuff, and now to kind of be engaged with you guys is actually pretty cool for me. So really cool stuff, and like I said, really just appreciate all the things you guys have done this year.
Is that hard to do
in a season that's not going the way you want it to, and how do you do it?
You mean like blocking out?
Yeah, well, or just kind of talking whenever we ask you to talk.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously it's difficult, and there's times where you're really frustrated as a player, but it's at the end of the day, it's our responsibility to be there and be present for you guys and be engaged. So, you guys got a lot on your plate. You guys got things that you got to write about, talk about, and those are your responsibilities, and it's our responsibility to provide that info and answer your questions the right way and all that type of stuff. So. I think it's important. It helps me get my message across, regardless of what you guys are asking, and it works both ways. So I always feel like I'm respectful of it, and I think you guys feed off of that and show that respect my way as well.
Who has the best questions?
I can tell you the worst. No, I'm kidding.
Managed to keep that positive outlook, not just for you, but in the room this season, despite the losing streak?
Yeah, I think that's like the only thing I know. Getting down in the dumps about things, it's not going to solve any sort of issue. And also I do think there's a lot of promise here. You see like kind of the pieces that we got here, and you can see where we can go with this, and so there is real optimism and all that type of stuff. But I've never known any other way. It's always just keep your head high, keep going, keep marching forward, and keep coming to work every day, because that's at the end of the day all you can do.
Defensively, what do you want to see these last two games to feel good about the finish to this season?
Well, I think that word finish, finish games, and guys just competing. And guys are doing that, but it can get hard here at the last couple of weeks when not that there's nothing to play for, but there's no playoff hopes, and obviously that's unfortunate for us. But we're building a championship team. Coach talks about that all the time, and I think it's important to display those habits. So we got 2 more opportunities here to do that, and I know the guys are looking forward to that.
Cole, when he talks about championship habits, we've heard that a lot from him too. In what ways what does that mean to you? What are you doing? What are your habits
Yeah.
on a weekly basis?
Yeah, well, I think it's just how you prepare. It comes down to how consistent you are during the week. For me, it's hitting your weights correctly. It's all like the little things, like hitting your weights correctly, your nutrition, how you go about practice, how you go about your meetings, all those type of things. So, not falling off in that regard, and it gets kind of easy to do as the year goes on. You get more tired, and you don't want to do certain things. But I think those championship habits just come with consistency and repetition. So I think seeing those things and seeing guys build upon those is going to be key going forward.
With regard to being at the end of a long season, a year ago at this time was a very difficult time for everybody, all of us involved. This year it's a little bit different, even though the record's not as good. Do you notice the difference? Or is your excitement about playing these last 2 games?
Yeah. I just think because there's so much to look forward to. You can see where this thing is going, and just the steps that I think we've taken from week 1 to now, and really from day 1 of OTAs to this point, you just seen those steps grow and us grow as a team. So I'm looking forward to it. We're going to add pieces here, obviously, and continue moving forward this thing. But I think there's a lot to be optimistic about.
How much does it help you to be able to compare? Okay, this is what we were like against Lions in Week 10, and this is what we're like today.
And to then have that with the Vikings.
Yeah. No, I think that's pretty cool. I think more so with Minnesota. That was a little earlier on, and now that's going to be the last game of the year, and I think it's been 5-6 weeks since that last Detroit game. But you see some things that you can improve on, and things that you maybe saw in the last game that we can try out in this game, and I think we're all excited about that. So it's a new opportunities next 2 weeks, and 2 teams vying for the playoffs, and so hopefully we can spoil some things for them.
Is that a test for Getsy too, to see, okay, this is how they played us the first time, and now this is what we can do to
Yeah, for sure. I think whenever you get with your divisional opponents, you kind of get that chess match going because you're seeing those guys multiple times a year, and sometimes if multiple teams are making the playoffs from the division, you're going to see them 3 times a year. So you get familiar with the teams in the division pretty quickly, and I think it's going to be exciting and a fun challenge for us.
For yourself personally, what are you most proud of this year?
Yeah, I think you're talking about myself or as
For you.
Yeah, I think when I look at like myself on tape, just like the steps I've been taking, in the run game, pass game, all those things. So my focus every week has just been get a little bit better at something, each and every day. And when you do that and you're able to stack days like that, you look back to week 1 and, you look back to OTAs, like you can really see those steps and how you've grown throughout the course of the season.
Well, back to dealing with us, I'm curious,
Yeah.
in a sports family, whether it's your dad or your uncle, do you ever get kind of advice about how to manage this?
Yeah, most of the advice my dad gives me is probably not great, so I don't really listen too much to it. No, I'm just kidding. But no, yeah, no, they'll get their input. I love, my grandmother will always comment when she'll see this on, YouTube or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, I love how you said this," or "I love how you said that," but they're good about it, and I think they always offer great advice. So.
Did she tell you to take the Cubs hat off?
No, she wanted me to keep it on. I told her I would probably have to start owing money at some point if I kept wearing it. She said she'd cover it, and I told her the amount, and she's like, "Never mind, don't do it."
Are there certain guys in the locker room that you've watched the last couple of years, and even across the league, you see the press conferences and interviews, how they handle themselves and kind of, oh, okay, this is how I want to be with the media?
Yeah, I think there was a clip I saw my rookie year, Danny Trevathan, after a loss that these guys show. How to handle the media, after a tough loss and things like that, and that's kind of one that's always kind of stuck in my head. Just kind of, and then they showed one after a big win, and you couldn't really tell, which was which, and you always kind of want to be the same and be even keeled. So those are always those two clips are ones that stuck in my head, and ones I kind of wanted to resemble.
Well, after playing in the conditions you guys played in last week, I'm curious, what are you excited about going inside with turf? And I don't mean like you're not Cole, but just like from an actual production standpoint, to actually be able to run what you guys want to run.
Yeah, I think we've played a lot of weather games this year. Starting from week 1, and we had a lot of games outside with rain and cold and all this stuff. So I think it's a fast track for us when it's inside on the turf like that, and I think that plays to our advantage and a lot of guys in our team. We're excited about that. You're able to kind of run a full deal and not have to worry about which way the wind's blowing, and hey, if we get on this side, I'm gonna run this way because the wind's going this way, all those type of things. So you're able to just kind of run an offense, and I think guys are looking forward to that.
Thank you, Cole.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.